ඔයා ලොග් වෙලාද ඉන්නේ? මම බැලුවා වැරු ගියා මම බලන්න. හරි.
Excuse me, sir, you can start the session.
How many participants are? Oh, I can see only one. How many? Right. People are there, no? Right. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. Today we are going to discuss two areas of consultancy. One is the different types of contract agreements we can use under consultancy contracts. And as I promised you last time, case studies, right? So unlike the works goods service contract, type of contract are different in consultancy again, right? So what are the types of contract we can use for works and goods? Tell me. You are already done. What type of contract we can use for works and goods? Anybody? Hello? Today we'll have to talk with me because we are going to discuss case studies also. I can't do case studies alone. You'll have to discuss with me. Right? Please speak up. What are the different types of contract we use for works goods? Anybody can try?
LCB, ICB.
No. Those are procurement methods. No? I'm asking different types of contract agreements we can use for works goods. We discussed that. If you award a contract to a work contractor, what kind of contract we can use? In case of goods contract, service contract, what are the different types of contract agreement we sign with the supplier, contract, or service provider? Pradeepika? Sanjeeva, can you try that? Why you are silent? Hello?
Sir, excuse me, sir. Can you repeat the question, sir?
But my question is, what are the different types of contract agreements we can use for works, goods, and services? Now we are talking about the consultant services. Before that, I want to know your knowledge, your memory. What are the different types of contract we use for works, goods, and services generally? It is in the guideline, it is in the manual. We discussed earlier also. I want to know your,
Yes, rate-based contract, lump sum contracts.
Yes. One is measure and pay. That means rate contract. Yes. Yes. Then lump sum contract. Yes. What else?
Rate-based contract.
Rate is measure and pay. Measure and pay is rate base. Yes.
Design and build.
No.
Design and build.
No, that is lump sum. No?
Mm.
Design and build is a contract we give, but it is a lump sum. What else? Two is
Cost
okay.
plus.
Cost plus, yes. Yes, cost plus also we can use some. times, especially emergency situation. No? What else?
Management contracting.
Yes, management contract, performance-based contract. No? Performance-based contract. Right.
And
What else?
price, fixed price.
Fixed price is lump sum, no?
Okay, sir. Yes.
What else? Now we have introduced a new agreement, framework agreement. Right? So those are the different types of contract agreement we use for works, goods, and generally measure and pay and lump sum we can use for all works contract. No? Measure and pay means, I don't want to spend time on that, but there are different types of agreement. Cost plus also we can use under emergency situation where we can't have a clear scope. Then we deploy the contractor and ask him to give his profit margin and other things, no? In addition to the cost. Right. So today we are going to discuss different types of contract for consultancy. You see, lump sum, again, time-based is a different one. Lump sum, also we have two types of contract agreement, but it's lump sum, small lump sum and large. If you look at the World Bank guidelines, you can find two types of contract agreements. Time-based means we pay based on the time spent by the consultant. There are special training by, say, consultancy, like training, for example. So we pay to the consultant, individual or the firm, based on the time they spend. And many other instances, we can use time-based contract also. It is also have two parts, long time-based or short time-based, right? So, make a large and complex කියලත් කියනවා. We'll see. Anyway, you can check, complex. Lump sum. Another one is a very important different thing, retainer and success fee contract. Retainer and success fee. That is used in only consultancy. Because sometimes we have to use this type of agreement, especially if you want to sell assets, if you want to hire consultant for as an auctioneer to sell assets. If you pay a percentage or lump sum, that is not correct. Why? We just spend the money, time and do nothing sometimes. He is not motivated to get the maximum sales proceed with his professional skills. So therefore, we use retainer is a fixed amount. Anyway, we have to pay the retainer. In addition to the retainer, we pay a success fee based on his success. For example, we say you must sell this asset. Our minimum amount is 200 million. Then you are paid a retainer. That means a lump sum. Say something, say 1 million or whatever. I don't know. Then if you get more than 200 million, additional amount, say over and above 200, you get a percentage success fee. Right? Say if you sell at 250, you get a percentage for 50 in addition to the retainer. So then the auctioneer is motivated to get more and more proceeds from his sales. No? Percentage contract is also used in consultants especially. So consultant is paid a percentage of the value. Especially, we use that, no? We pay percentage to architects and we pay percentage to engineers, lawyers, 1%, 2%, things like that, no? So based on the cost estimate, we pay a percentage. Procurement agents, inspection agent, various instances we can use percentage. Another type of different type of contract is indefinite delivery contract. Indefinite delivery contract means like this. Supposing we have a big project, a dam project or whatever, the complex construction, especially construction, right? Then we have your supervision consultant, various consultants are working. But if there's a troubleshoot, if there's a problem arises, perhaps this consultant cannot find the answers, solutions. You need a very special consultant to come and inspect the error and troubleshoot and give the solution. As I mentioned earlier also, if there's a leak in the dam, while it is constructing, a leak comes. So perhaps these existing consultants cannot rectify the leakage. So if you try to recruit consultant once you identify the leak, it is not possible. It takes time, no? It takes a couple of months sometimes. So therefore, at the beginning of the project, we identify very specialized consultants and sign the contract agreement throughout the project period. For example, project is 5 years. So you sign the indefinite delivery contract with very specialized consultants, and then whenever we need his service, you send an email and get down him and get the work done. But you pay based on the visits he do, not for 5 years continuously. We pay how many visits he do during these 5 years. We agree to pay some fee. That is called indefinite delivery. Right? You understand these 5 types of contract? Hello?
Percentage method means milestone.
Percentage means we pay a percentage. For example, we recruit consultant to procure things, because sometimes we can identify procurement agents. Give me a minute.
So we can't hear you.
Sorry. Now it's okay, no?
Okay, sir.
Right. Are you clear on these 5 types?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My point is, now we are doing selection of consultant in this module. So you will prepare RFP and various process. I don't know whether you have done it. You advertise EOI and shortlisting and everything we do. And ultimately we issue RFP. Along with the RFP, you must send a copy of the contract agreement, right? So what type of agreement you send to the consultant to sign after the selection is based on these 5 types. You cannot send lump sum contract or time-based contract agreement for everybody. Based on the assignment, nature and scope of the assignment, you must very carefully select what is the relevant agreement. If you send a wrong agreement, completely wrong, you cannot do your task. Therefore, your understanding of the different types is very important. I am telling you again, that will be tested again in the exam, how we identify the different types of consultancy contract agreements based on the nature and scope of contract. You must identify the features of each types, right? And with examples, right? Therefore, you must understand and ask question if you have any doubts. First one, okay, what are the main considerations when you select the different types of contract? The selection type of contract is generally based on both scope of the work and method, okay, and the method adopted for selection of consultant. There are different methods, no? We discussed the other day. Method, just say method. So what are the different methods we use to select consultants? Now tell me. I need to talk everybody today, otherwise I will not continue. Please discuss with me. I have included some case studies also. I can't do lecture on case study. You'll have to do the case study with me. Please. What are the different?
QCBS,
Yeah, QCBS,
QBS, SSS,
QBS, SSS. What else?
Fixed price.
Fixed budget. Fixed budget selection, yes. FBS, yes. What else? What else?
Lean
Huh?
budget selection. Lean budget
Not-
selection.
Not lean, least cost selection.
Sorry, least budget.
Least cost selection. Number 5. What else?
CQS selection.
CQS, selection based on consultant's qualification. Those are the 6 methods. Yeah, those are the 6 methods we use to select consulting firms. Why we select firms? Because there's another method that is called individual consultant. Why we select firms?
We need the service of the several professionals.
Exactly. We need many consultants, right? It is easy for us to individually hire consultants. It is easier and cost effective, but it is not desirable, because who will take the ultimate responsibility? Everybody is blaming somebody, no? If you hire structural engineer, civil engineer separately, if something happens, they say that is none of my problem, that is structural engineer's problem. The civil engineer say that, structural say something, and quantity say something. I mean, that is not that. Therefore, we select a consulting firm consists of different kinds of consultants we want. Therefore, we use different methods. Again, I said that will be another area. You must know what is the most suitable method we should apply to select consulting firms. But there's another way you can hire individual consultants also. That is called IC, individual consultant. What are the different types of individual consultant? Again, 2 types. Please. If you want to select individual consultant, there are 2 methods. In our guideline as well as World Bank, ADB, everywhere it is there. What are the 2 methods? No answer? Hello?
Is that quality and cost-based selection?
No, no,
And
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Cost and quality-based selection is QC-based, no? That is
yes,
the selecting of consulting firms. Now I am asking, what are the different methods available to select individual consultant, not consulting firms, individuals? There are two methods. Yeah. What are the two methods? Anybody can try?
CQSS.
No, CQS is a consulting firm.
Receiving biodata.
No, no, that
Yeah.
is the process, no. I'm asking the method. Like, again, I'm asking the question. There are 6 methods to select consulting firms when we need more consultants. But if you want single consultants, different area where you need, say, training consultant, expert, or some other consultant, separately you can identify rather than a consulting firm. What are the different two methods to select individual consultants? I see.
SSNIC,
Huh?
SSNOIC.
No, no. SSS කියලා කිව්වේ single source selection නේ.
Oh, yes.
දැන් මේ individual consultant select කරන්න ක්‍රම දෙකක් මම එදා ඔයාලට කිව්වා. What are the different two methods? Cannot remember?
No, sir.
The direct selection or invitation for calling interest?
No, 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 no. No, no, no. Please remember things. Otherwise, you know, you are in difficult. You are in to answer the questions at the exam also, because if you don't have a clear understanding. So method you answered well, all 6 methods, but individual consultant, there are 2 methods. When we say individual consultant, we denote that IC, individual consultants. There are 2 methods, and number 1, individual consultants competitive. That means ICC. Okay. Individual consultant competitive means we publish a EOI and, you know, get 3 CVs. Instead of 3 quotations like that, we get 3 CVs of individuals and select. Okay. The other method is individual consultant single source selection. ICS. Now you can recall that. Individual
Yes, sir.
individual consultant competitive and individual consultant single source.
Source.
Okay. Single
Yes, okay,
source,
sir.
yeah. So type of consultants. So individual consultants also we can use any type. Maybe lump sum, maybe time based, maybe retainer plus, maybe percentage, maybe indefinite delivery. Supposing we identify a single source, individual consultant competitive for a very high expert or high skill consultant to troubleshoot. So then we have to sign an indefinite delivery contract with the individual consultant. Now you understand?
So excuse me.
Yes.
Here ICC method. Now
ICC, yes.
Yeah. Now we supposed to advertise. What do you
Okay.
mean by get 3 CV?
Advertise, we say we need this type of consultancy assignment. Those who are interested and qualification and experience, please send your biodata. That's how we say.
Then once we are advertising, the more than 3 people can come for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
competition?
Yes. We can get 15, right? We can shortlist, and sometimes we shortlist and select a couple of good CVs and interview them and negotiate with them and sign the contract. Okay?
Here, shortlisting amount, not the 8 as we discussed at the
No,
top.
there is no shortlisting for international individual consultants. We check their CVs and see whether they are qualified, they have the relevant experience, then you interview them, discuss with them.
In order to prevail the competition, there should be a 3 CVs.
Yeah, at least 3 CV කියලා කියනවා in order to prevail the competitive thing. Otherwise, it's like 3 quotation.
Yeah,
You
should
call
be like.
three CVs from individuals. Even though we advertise, if you know the consultant personally, you can send an email. Mr. Consultant, we have advertised. Please look at that advertisement and send your CV. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Because it is always based on the quality, I said. We can find suitable consultant to do our work. It is competitive. Why? The consulting period is more than 6 months according to our guideline. Or if the consultancy period is more than 1 year according to World Bank and ADB guidelines. And our guidelines say if the value is less than 1 million, you can follow individual consultant single source. Need not to go competitive. Values less than 1 million or less than 6-month period. For example, if you give a training consultancy to a very expert person for 1 month or couple of months, it is more than 1 million. Then it is not advisable to get one CV, so you advertise that and get a couple of CVs. And if you know that known people, you can ask them also personally, send email. It is not a problem. And you evaluate all CVs and identify suitable consultants and discuss with them, negotiate with them their rate. Some consultants say, I need this much of a fee per day or whatever. So if you have a budget, you can, try to negotiate. Generally, it is not advisable to ask to reduce the price, right? But you can little bit negotiate, and other things also, negotiation, other things, there are facilities you provide and various things are there. My point is not that. My point is there are to select consulting firms. There are 2 methods to select individual consultants. There are 5 methods of different types of contract agreements. So these agreements can use for firms as well as individual consultant. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the consideration I said, lump sum type contract are easy to implement. Lump sum because we give a lump sum to a consulting firm based on their
So, excuse
own.
me.
Yes.
The contract, the type of 5 contract
Okay.
can be categorized into the single individual. So, I mean, individual consultants or firm.
Not categorize. You can use.
Yeah.
You can use these 5 types of agreement for consulting firms as well as individual consultants. Because we have to sign an agreement. If the value is high, you have to sign an agreement now. Okay.
Okay.
If the value is small, for example, is less than our guidelines say, our works goods guidelines say, if the value is less than 500,000, it is not mandatory to sign an agreement for services. Consultancy also we can apply, but you can just send an administrative letter of appointment is sufficient. Then he should accept that. agreement is necessary for high values again. If it's more than 1 million, if the contract period is more than 6 months, something like that. So my point is there are 6 methods of consulting firm selection. There are 2 methods of individual consultant selection. Both firms and individuals, you must, if it's relevant, you must use different types of agreements, lump sum, more time-based or whatever. So that is the topic today. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Lump sum type contract are easy to implement and has many advantages over other types. Because this is easy. We say we pay 5 million for the entire consultancy work. Then we pay based on their milestones, right? Normally, consultants are paid under different stages. Once they submit their inception, we can pay an advance also, consultant, right? Upon receipt of advance security, right? Like works goods, we can pay an advance also. So consultants' payment are basically tied up with reports, right? Say after submission of the inception report, we can pay some percentage of the lump sum. And after submitting of the, what do you call this, interim report, another percentage. After submitting the draft final report, another percentage. Finally, the rest will pay as the submit on the final report. Because consultant, I said, there is no physical output of consultancy services. Tangible output is not there. Even though training, there is no tangible output. You provide some training. So the training, normally, we can fix a lump sum. Sorry, we can fix a period. So you provide 2-day training, 3-day training, for example. We pay each day this much lump sum. So after finishing of these 3 days, you pay his fee. Not necessarily you sign the agreement if the value is small. If the value is high according to guidelines, you have a small lump sum contract agreement, right? Similarly, if you hire many consultants for a very complex construction project, so you'll have to pay, say, time-based contract, for example. Say every month you pay, they will submit their time sheets. For example, we have a very complex QC, the construction project. We need supervision consultants and various other consultants, chief engineers and whoever. So now we have selected their remuneration. For example, chief engineer is paid monthly 1 million, for example. Other people pay different salaries. So they have to work some minimum working days. They say 22 days a month or whatever, right? Holidays are there, but their salary is fixed with days. So they have to submit time sheets to the client, right? Chief engineer has worked, say, out of 22, 20 days. Then supposing his salary is 1 million for 22 days, and if he work only 20 days, he will get less than 1 million. Similarly, other engineers, 15 days, 10 days, then their payment is deducted based on the number of days they work, because they have agreed to work 22 days per month. You see? So what they should do is they should give their time sheets. And in the time sheet, they say what they have done. Right. Okay. I mean, you must familiar with this process, because this module we are teaching you the selection and employment of consultants, and various topics are covered, right? Earlier we discussed many things, and you must have discussed the request for proposals, EOI, and various other aspects. Evaluation also we will discuss or already discuss, I don't know, how to evaluate these consulting firms or individuals. Now I am talking one aspect of that, different types of contract agreement you have to use for consultancy services. So we start with main consideration. I said lump sum contracts are easy. Hence, unless in the situation where PE can justify the advantage of using other types of contract, lump sum contract shall be used, right? So if we have the you can justify, you can use lump sum. It's easy, no? It is, everybody can understand. But other things are a little bit different, because time-based contract you have never come across in your works goods contract. It is only applicable to consultancy contract. Based on the time they spend, you pay, right? Other type also, indefinite delivery, percentage. Okay, those are different agreements, especially used in consultancy. When scope of assignment and time inputs of staff cannot be estimated accurately, time-based contract be more appropriate. So if their assignment, if you cannot identify the time inputs, how much time they have input to do the work, right? Lump sum is not reasonable. So you can use time based. Right? So based on the time, you pay, right? For control and training purpose, time-based contract may be more appropriate. A second type is lump sum. Again lump sum. Lump sum contract are used mainly for assignment in which the content and length of services and the required outputs precisely specified. If the required output can be precisely identified, you can easily use lump sum. Once you do this, we pay this much, right? But in some cases, say supervision consultants, so we have a chief engineer to supervise the work. How we can, quantify his work? He supervise. He cannot. He cannot quantify his effort or inputs. So best way is pay based on the time spent. Clear? Hello?
Yes, sir, clear.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Under lump sum contract, the client agrees to pay the consultancy organizer a fixed sum of money for certain products of specified technical outputs, such as study reports, right? So we pay fixed lump sum for various outputs, such as study reports, project design, bidding document. So for example, we hire a consultant individual. Okay, you develop our bidding document. Then they discuss and agree to pay some lump sum, right? Say 1 million. Okay. So that is clear, no? No matter how much time he spent to develop the bidding document, once he develop the bidding document and hand over to us, we can pay that lump sum, right? We can agree to pay some milestone also. First, he give an advance. I mean, a very complex bidding documents are there. So we can pay an advance. Once he give the draft bidding document, we pay. Once we agree and finalize, we can pay something like that. All are lump sum. No matter how many months or days he spent, we don't worry about the time, because what we want is the output, right? But training, you understand. Training, we say you must undertake procurement training to our officers, right? How to identify the output? Tell me. Can we identify the output of the trainer? He present his presentations, training materials, various things to your participants. So we cannot, that presentation is not the output. The time he spent with his presentation and everything is the output. So therefore, you can pay based on the time he spent, but lump sum, but based on the time, right? Lump sum contracts are often used in relatively simple, but there are large lump sum also, relatively simple and clearly defined assignment, clearly defined. So lump sum should be output should be clearly identified, assigned, such as planning. Okay, we hire a consultant or consulting firms to prepare our architectural drawings or plans. So output is clear, no? We need the plan. Once they submit the plan, we pay a lump sum. It is time base is not relevant. No matter how many months or how many years he spent, we want the output plan. Feasibility studies. So we hire a consultant to do technical feasibility or environment feasibility, whatever. So once the feasibility report is submitted, that feasibility report is the output. Then we can pay a lump sum. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all other things. Feasibility studies, environmental studies, detailed design, design of building, infrastructure, preparation of database, etc. So lump sum contract we use if the output can be precisely identified. Okay. Lump sum contract are also adapted in cases of sophisticated and clear-cut assignment in which external factors generally do not influence, such as delay or substantially change, right? So all if it is delays due to various delays, that will affect the consultant's work external to do his work. So that lump sum cannot be used, right? Substantially change, because we ask him to, submit the plan, you change over time. But he cannot do his work within that agreed amount because we have changed several times. The outcome of advice or study being provided, right? Whatever it is, that lump sum are also adapted in this area. Contract price is fixed for the life of the contract. Under this, contract price is fixed. Price is fixed. And no physical or price contingencies are normally provided. So lump sum, no contingencies provided, right? Payments are made in accordance with the contractual agreement upon schedule at the delivery of an agreed upon product. So we have to agree, you have to deliver this, as I mentioned earlier. Once you submit the interim report, we pay 20%. Once you submit the draft final, we pay this one. Once you submit your final report, we pay this one. Because you must understand, unlike works goods, consultancy report we can identify, but generally his work is not tangible. Even the report is not the important thing. The intellectual inputs in the report is important. For example, he will give a feasibility report, but inputs are very poor. So then we don't accept that report. We say, consultants, we don't agree with your report. You have not covered full TOR or whatever the scope given to you. So you must do again, right? So you understand that consultancy contract is not clear. Like if you want a computer, they submit a computer, you pay. If you want to construct the building, once they construct, you pay partly or fully, milestone or fully. But consultancy, there is no physical product as we understood at the introductory session, right? If payments are made against, if payments are made against a schedule of percentage, I said we pay 20% advance and various milestone of work completed, then a minimum progress report and supporting evidence that the work has been completed should be submitted. As what I said, if you give a schedule of payment, you must they must submit a report, right? As I said, interim report. Say you can just mention that progress report. I just mentioned here what are the progress reports. Inception report, interim. ඔය වචන මතක තියාගන්න. Interim report, draft, final report, and final report. Those are the different reports normally considered as progress reports. And supporting evidence that the work has been completed should be submitted. The lump sum contract is easy for the PE to administer and require little technical supervision. So lump sum contract is easy for PE to administer and require little technical supervision, as no matching of inputs to payment is required. This type of contract is also indicated for clients with relatively small or weak administrative and managerial structures. So there are some situations. A lump sum contract transfer cost risk to the consulting organizations and gives PE certainly about the cost involved in procuring consultants. So all the risks are given to consulting firms because consultant identify the task and he must complete the task within the money or amount agreed lump sum. However, they can increase the risk for the PE on the quality of the advice, right? They can increase the risk of, So lump sum is given to consultant to do that. Then consultant has the risk because he has to give the advice. But again, what is the quality of the advice consultants giving? Then that risk is with the PE. PE say, okay, you do the work within, say, very small amount is given consult. Then he will give very, sometimes very weak advice because the money is very small, little, right? However, they can increase the risk for PE on the quality of the advice because fees are fixed. Because the fees are fixed. After the contract is awarded, consultancy organizations have the opportunity of internalizing efficiency gains and have incentives to reduce inputs because that is also the. So they reduce the input because they say you do this one, this is the amount. So they try to reduce the different consultants' inputs used to deliver the work because their budget is fixed. Consultant always try to get the maximum using few people rather than using more people, right? Therefore, we have some restriction. We have to use 5 consultant or 4 consultant, but that is fees. Against level they had originally planned to increase the profit margin. So in order to increase their profit, the consulting firm's profit, they try to reduce the inputs, right? The incentives can be offset by the PE ability to assess and enforce quality standard. So we can remedy or as a safeguard, procurement entity or client can assess the enforced quality. You have to use some quality standard in order to get the quality work from the consultant. Use enforce quality standard, right? In the document, you say you must follow these standards. Otherwise, they will give very inferior work. Inferior work. You hire a consultant to do the training, very cheap money you pay, then that training is not quality. Anybody can do training, no? So that training is not quality, and they deliver very poor knowledge and skill improvement to your participants. How can we control that? Because you can't control that. At the end of the program, participants say very poor, knowledge is not increased, presentation is bad, and something like that. So that's why we say you must identify the best people to do the task based on their experience, qualifications, and past performance. Known people are there. So that risk is also there. The PE is advised to encourage peer reviews to monitor the quality of advice and ensure the important. PE is advised to peer reviews that similar consultants work to compare this work. For example, previous training was done another person. Then participants are given a very high comments, right? And compare this training with the previous training done by another consultant. That's called peer reviews. Other work also we can identify the peer reviews to monitor the quality of advice to ensure that important issues are completely covered and include such reviews as a condition for release of statement. So in such a situation, complete review and such reviews, that reviews as a condition, we put as a condition, this should be a standard, right? I mean, those are detailed, but you try to understand that. If quality is not easy to assess, the time delivered of the agreed output may be the criteria. So how can we quantify the quality of the training? Difficult. It depends on consultant's ability and knowledge and experience. So therefore, you forget about that and you give a time-based contract. Timely delivery of the agreed outputs. Timely delivery. Yeah, timely delivery is the word. For the assignment, involve a well-defined scope for a part of the assignment, and the duration and quantity of services depend on variables that are beyond the control of the consultant. For the balance part, then the combination of lump sum and time-based. Sometimes we can use a combination. Here, combination of lump sum and lifetime-based contract, where Here, for the assignment involve well-defined scope for part of the assignment. Well-defined is their part of the assignment. And the duration of quantity, duration and quantity of services depend on variables that are beyond the control. One part is beyond the control, right? So under that situation, we can use a combination of both lump sum and time-based. May be used. Example, assignment involve design component, well-defined scope is there. Then you can use very easy the lump sum and supervision of construction. So supervision we cannot quantify. Under that you use the time-based contract. That is a good example. A design part, okay, design part lump sum, supervision part time-based. You can put that design lump sum. Lump sum. Sorry, yeah, lump sum. Supervision time-based. Right, time-based. Okay. So lump sum contract when we can use the content and duration of the services clearly defined. So you keep in mind content and duration of the service clearly defined. And the required output is clearly defined. Then it's no problem. Content and duration is clear, service is very clearly defined, and output also required output clear. Then we can use lump sum. So if you have any doubt, please ask me. For example, planning and feasibility studies. We can use because very clear. You follow this one, the standard or whatever we give, you submit our feasibility study or plan. Environmental study, detailed designs of standard or common structures, preparation of data processing system, various things are there. As I said, payment are linked with outputs, reports, drawings, bill of quantities, bidding documents, software program. Those are different examples. Payment are linked examples. Of payments are linked, right? What are the advantages? Easy to administer due to clearly specified outputs. So once they submit the report, drawing or whatever, we can make the payment. Okay, that is all about the lump sum. If I ask a question, what are the factors that should be considered in selecting lump sum contract? So you must be ready to answer that question. Under what situation the time base is suitable and various times. So generally, you should have a very clear understanding. We can't just use time base or lump sum, as you want. Based on various factors, you must select the very correct type of consultancy contract. So therefore, I'm again telling you, you should be able to identify the basically different features of different types. You can very easily explain, but under what situation we use the time base, under what situation the lump sum is relevant, and other percentage, etc. So time base, under this type of contract, consulting can provide services on a timely basis according to quality specification and contract price is based on, right? A, agree upon unit rate of consulting organized staff multiplied by actual time spent by the staff in executing the assignment. So as I said, we pay the staff rates. their salary, right? And in addition to salary, we must pay their reimbursable expenses. When we hire consultants, consultants are entitled to get some reimbursables, right? Especially international consultants, we have to pay, in addition to their remuneration, we have to pay their hotel fees, cash allowance for food, and various things. Reimbursable expense using actual expense and agreed unit prices. So we agree various unit prices. So in addition to the salary, unit rate is their remuneration and reimbursables, reimbursable expenses. Time-based contract transfer cost is the PE. Contract transfer cost risk is to the PE, because the consultant take the time and we pay on his time used. So the risk pass to the PE. Lump sum risk is with the consultant. You understand that, huh? Risk is to the PE, because they just spend the time. You pay their salary, but whether they have done a quality job, there's a risk. Then they have to supervise. That is the point. They require a system to monitor and control assignment progress and cost, because consulting firms have incentives to put more resources on the job, including more costly resources. So you have to monitor and control, because lump sum they have an incentive to reduce the staff, because we have agreed 5 million. So instead of putting 4 people, the consulting firm can put 3 people and work, because they can increase the profit. Time-based, you need 3 people, they try to put 4 people, because they get more salary, right? Because we are paid, the consultants are paid based on the time they spend. So you understand, huh? Assignment progress and cost, because consulting firms have incentives to put more resources, because they don't worry, because if you put 3 people, they get 300,000. If you put 4 people, they get 400,000. Right? Time-based contracts are only recommended when the nature and scope of services are such that terms of reference cannot be established with sufficient precision. TOR cannot be established sufficiently, because they're difficult. The output cannot be precisely given, as may be the case for complex or unusual assignments that are difficult to define. Complex assignment, complex or unusual assignment. Because difficult to define, such as management of complex institutions or studies of new approaches. Okay, so it is difficult to define the assignment. The duration and quantity of services depend on variables that are beyond the control of consulting organization. The duration and quantity, because they also cannot fix, very clearly identify how much time they need to do the work. All the services are related to activities by third parties. For instance, supervision of implementation assignments, right? So you can understand. The output required of the consulting organization is difficult to assess. Output required of the consultant. So their output, their supervision, as mentioned, is difficult to assess. So they go around and look the work, and we don't know whether they properly supervise or not. Such as the technical assistance. Okay, so we deploy consultant to provide technical assistance, development or emergency situation in which we need to assist as assistant may involve during execution of the assignment. Okay, under that, we don't know whether that work is properly done by the consultant. Transfer of knowledge, training, and training between the consulting organization and PE. Training is paramount import. If training is paramount import, we can use time-based contract, because difficult to define the output of training. So only way we can identify the time spent for the training. Time-based contract normally include the ceiling on payment. Ceiling on payment. To the consulting organization, and consulting organization will stop work unless the changes in the scope of work is authorized or deadline for the completion of service is extended. So deadline for the completion of the service is extended. Time-based contract normally includes ceiling. This is the ceiling, right? 3 months, 1 month, or something. So this ceiling should include the contingency allowance for unforeseen work and its duration. And so, I mean, time-based, we can use contingency allowance, unforeseen situations, right? They have to spend more time because of unforeseen situation. So then we'll have to pay additional payment for consultant. All right, and its duration and provision for price adjustment. Provision for price adjustments also, because time-based we cannot precisely identify the output. An allowance for price escalation should normally be provided if the contract lasts for more than 12 months. Price escalation formula normally use more than 12 months. This type of contract requires the PE to closely supervise consultant. So PE closely supervise consultant, because we pay based on time, and to involve in the daily execution of work. Otherwise, they come and they do something in their office, and at the end of the month, we get a timesheet and we have to pay. We don't know what they do. So we have to daily execute using monitoring mechanism, something like that, very closely. The PE is usually aware of who is working on the job and nature of each expert's task. The PE know that each expert's task. Key staff and their tasks are usually named in the contract. Time-based, these are the key staff. Administration of this type of contract requires considerable administrative effort, because unless we closely monitor them, what happened is they spend the time and go home. Okay. Time-based contract, when can be used? Difficult to define the scope, I said earlier also. And the length of services, difficult. When the services depend on the performance of others, right? So consultant has to work. Say, for example, we identify a supervision consultant, but contract is not performing. Still, we have to pay for the supervision consultant, but they do nothing. But that is not his fault. Contract is not mobilizing properly, and he is not doing his work properly. Then supervision, to supervise something, they should do the work. So therefore, his consultant's work depend on contractor's work. Example, complex studies, construction supervision, advisory services, training assignments. For example, training assignments, all facilities should be provided by the PE or client. Training room, training facilities, printing of materials, and various things. So if they delay that or if they don't do properly, then consultant work is affected. Payments based on agreed monthly, yeah, as I said, agreed monthly, hourly rates, right? And actually reimbursable, in addition, reimbursable expenses. So can include maximum amount of payment. At always we say this is the maximum per day or month or whatever. Provision for, so for example, we pay 100,000 per day, maximum 8 days of month, right? So we don't want consultant to work more than 8 days, right? Maximum ceiling is given. Advantage, client has to monitor the consultant's work closely. Okay, third one, I said retainer and success fee. Now you must be very clear on lump sum and time-based contract. Those are commonly used two methods. These other three methods, not very common. Very specialized situations, we can use retainer and indefinite. Not those are not very common. Very common type is time-based and lump sum. Okay, so you must understand that. This type of contract is often adopted to remunerate financial and management advisors who assist in sale of asset. I said, yeah, sale of assets. Such as privatization operations. In these cases, the QCBS, that is the consulting selection method, in which consultants are asked to quote a retainer fee. So we select the consultant based on QCBS, quality and cost base. But the contract type is retainer plus success fee. Sometimes we say retainer and retainer plus retainer plus success fee. In this case method, in the consultants are asked to quote a retainer fee. Okay, what do you want? A fixed price retainer and or a success fee. So based on success, I said based on beyond that is paid the success fee is generally recommended for the selection of consultant. The proportion of retainer and success fee is often fixed. So proportion of retainer and success fee is often fixed. So this is your retainer, this is your success fee, is fixed in advance and is not subject to negotiation with the winning consultant. So consultant asks, this is my retainer, this is my success fee. Normally it is not negotiable, you have to pay. The retainer fee proportion tend to be set higher if the consultant role contributes more to planning and design of privatization reform. Retainer is higher. Retainer fee proportion tend to be higher if the consultant's contribution is more on planning and design of privatization plan, rather than effort to successfully selling asset. So successfully selling asset is a small component. So therefore, big portion is the arrangement of this auction or something. The retainer fee is paid as a lump sum. Retainer is a lump sum. If the scope of work of the assignment and its duration are clearly defined. Otherwise, a time-based remuneration should be adopted, right? Success fee are appropriate when success is related to the effort. Success fee is related to the effort of the firm's involvement, relatively easy to quantify. As I mentioned, if you get more than 200 million, additional amount, we pay some percentage. It is always a percentage. Yeah? It cannot be lump sum. Or sometimes we can say, for example, in privatization assignment, success fee should not be introduced before the structure of the sector reform has been determined. Take a different example. For example, privatization assignment success fee should not be introduced before the structure reform has been determined. Yes. So that is, we cannot determine that. Success fee should be retained for the transaction, sale, stage, and should be reserved for those advisors whose effort can have significant impact on value. Bankers and lawyers concerned can effort the sale by ensuring a large number of bidders and that the transfer team delivers transparent and appropriate and timely information to bidders as well as by structuring the sale of ensuring strong interest. So what is how they should give more input. The success fee is generally structured by taking two parameters into account. Value of the asset, structure of the incentive itself. One approach for establishing a base for value to adapt is to have independent expert prepare the estimate. So independent person should prepare the estimate. Then beyond that, we can pay a success fee to the consultant. The advisor is then given an incentive for exceeding their estimate, right? The incentive can be structured as a lump sum or as a lump sum incentive structure as a lump sum or as a share of the proceeds above above the target value. Alternatively, advisors can be given a sliding scale, whatever is. In certain contract, the retainer fee is subtracted from the success fee when this is paid at the end of the transaction. In drafting, okay, those are details. Preparing companies for sale or mergers in privatization isn't, we can use success fee. Retainer and success fee is the payment. Okay, fourth one, percentage contract. This is quite common, because we pay a percentage to lawyers, we pay a percentage to architects. Generally, percentage is common, not like success fee. It is only for to get the maximum proceeds, sale. Sale is the good example. Because if we say you are paid a lump sum and he is not motivated to get the maximum sales, right? In a percentage contract, consultant receive an agreed upon percentage. Consultant receive an agreed upon percentage of the actual project cost. So we pay architectures based on the estimate of the building or of the transaction of sale price. This type of contract is discouraged for normal consultant services. This is not a good practice for normal consultant services because it offers no incentive to lower the cost of services. If we pay percentage, consultant try to escalate the estimate also, right? Because his payment is based on the percentage. So therefore, type contracts discouraged for normal consultant services, right? On the contrary, it may include consult to adopt more expensive design. Yes, that's why I said. If he is paid a percentage based on the estimate, he will put all luxury items and more expensive designs solution in order to increase the absolute value of their remuneration. The percentage contract may be only used in contracts for procurement. Percentage contract only used in contract for procurement and inspection agents. So we pay percentage based on procurement done by the agent or inspection for services that are directly related to the quantity and cost of the goods, right? So, but it is agreed architectures and all, law especially, based on the value of the deed, for example, law is charging 1% or 2%, whatever, depending. When to use architectural works, procurement. Yeah.
In the construction contract,
Yes.
we take percentage based consultant, and after the final payment, then as you said, the payment based on the estimate, and after the contract finished, the final payment based on the final actual payment or estimated payment.
Number one is don't use percentage contract for supervision consultants, because then he has an incentive to increase the cost, no? Because his payment is based on estimate. So as you said correctly, we are not paying additional improvement. Payment is based on the initial cost estimate, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
So we very carefully, you must use this percentage contract, because if we pay percentage, they have the incentive to increase the design and give very complicated and luxury designs, because he get more money, right? Finally, before that break, I will discuss this also. Indefinite delivery. I said under which situation we use this one. Indefinite quantity contract refer indifferent delivery contract area. Indifferent delivery contract refer to contract in which individual consulting firm is hired for a specified time period. Specified time period. Undertake tasks as and when. Undertake tasks as and when need arises. That's why I said, right? So we sign the contract for 5 years, but we pay as and when he comes. We call him. The specific workload is unknown. Specific workload is unknown. We don't know at the outset, initially. All that is known is that advice is likely to be needed in a particular area. Indefinite delivery contract anticipate that the service will have two particular characteristics. So, definite delivery contract we sign, we are not sure whether that will come or not. But for the safe side, we sign the contract with the specialized consultant. So, under two characters, number one, P will need to assess the immediately available or on-call services. Immediately available on-call services of urgent assignment. I said on-call we cannot recruit consultant. No? It takes time. Even an individual consultant we can't hire. Right? Therefore, you must do all the proceedings and select the consultant, and lengthy competitive bidding process is unacceptable. So that is lengthy bidding process is unacceptable, because it cannot tolerate the lengthy process, because we need urgent advice, right? Is unacceptable. These services could include expert for urgent remedial action. Yes, expert remedial actions, or adjudicators in dispute. Yeah, that is also dispute resolution. Adjudicators we arrange, and when we need, we deploy them and pay, right? Each individual piece of advice will be equal, quite small, making an expensive competitive selection process inefficient. Although this, when added together, the amount of advice is substantial, right? So amount of advice is very important. Because without his advice, whole project may be collapsed. Whole project may be unsuccessful. Since it is known how often or for what specific task companies will be called upon, they may not be able to submit a plan or whatever. At the same time, a long contract period, and unknown activation. Contract period is long, unknown activation dates mean that the consultant may always credibly claim that the requested expert is not available. The awarded consultant is required within the framework contract to provide its services on the basis of separate delivery orders. So we can sign something like a framework contract for 3 years or 5 years, but payment separate delivery orders. Order issued by the PE during the contract period. The consultant is expected to carry out any such delivery orders with the agreed upon specification and within the required time frame. Remuneration is based on agreed upon rates. Remuneration is based on agreed upon rates. We agree per day rate, basically per day rate. Per visit rate or whatever. For staff plus reimbursable. Supposing the consultant is in other country, we must pay his remuneration, agreed rate, plus all the reimbursable. His airfare, hotel fees, cash allowance for food, transportation, everything. For staff plus reimbursable. Payments are made either on the basis of the time. Actually spent or lump sum basis, whatever the ways, right? When can be used? Having a specialized services on call. Example, expert on dam panel, expert adjudicators or dispute resolution panel, institutional reform, procurement advice. You all can be a procurement advice. Indefinite delivery contract you can sign if you are become expert. Then as and when you give the advice, you are paid. Technical troubleshooting for one or more. Payment agreed unit rate, payment used in actual work done. Okay, that's all. We'll stop for a break. This part is the important provision of the contract. I don't want to explain this. You just look at, because I want to discuss the case studies, right? Right. But this one I gave an example, World Bank assignment, critical studies in field, whatever they say, QCBS. You can read this. Contract is time-based. Here the QCBS contract is lump sum. Here QCBS, so QBS, time-based, so indefinite delivery. You read this as an example. QCBS time-based. What is this? Construction supervision. QCBS time-based. Financial sector reform. QCBS or QBS. Retainer and success fee. Procurement inspection. QCBS. Fixed budget selection. Least cost selection. Again, retainer. Simple, precisely defined assignment, percentage, or lump sum. Yeah, some example, right? Okay, with this, we'll stop for a break, and please read these cases. I give at least after the break 10 minutes. You read each and every case and you give the answers. I'm not giving the answers unless you talk. Okay? Right? Right. We'll take first one. Case study. This is a short list an agency has prepared and sent to the bank, say World Bank. Examine the short list below, sent to the World Bank for an objection. The services required are for provision of valuation of public sector assets in Sri Lanka. That is the assignment. What they have done is they have a short list, Samka Consulting Sri Lanka, KPMG Ironic Sri Lanka, KPMG UK, ENY UK, PJ&D Consulting USA, this and France, X Group Netherlands. What is your view? Would the bank or World Bank give an objection to this? Why or why not? Please give your answers. If you have prepared a short list like this and sent to the bank, would you expect that the bank will give the no objection? Yes or no? If yes, if no, you have to give the reason. Please. Who can answer that? Loganathan? Who will answer this one? Sanjeeva? Nobody? At least talk with me. Who can talk with me regarding this one? Right or wrong, no problem. Once you look at this short list, what do you think?
7 are shortlisted.
Yes. Is it correct or wrong?
Minimum 8 should be shortlisted.
No, that is our guideline, no?
World Bank, it is okay, sir.
No, World Bank says 6, I think. I don't know, we can check. But at that time, the case study, the maximum is 6. World Bank. ADB says 7. You can check that. That's why I say you have to compare and contrast different guidelines. So I think you got my assignment, right? Assignment topic is given, no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I ask you to download the government procurement guidelines. I think I gave that to you. And World Bank latest one, ADB latest one, I added JB call, so don't worry. I can download and see, compare and contrast this one. So according to the World Bank, they can shortlist only 6. Therefore, 7 is not acceptable. Okay. Then best 6, they have to cut 1. What is the other problem you can see? And we can at least suspect the error they have done. In the short list, there cannot be two firms in one company. You can see KPMG Sri Lanka and KPMG UK is both there. It is not allowed. If you carefully read the guidelines, shortlist cannot be consist of 2 consulting firms from same company. Either UK or Sri Lanka is a KPMG. So that is the second error. Okay? Agree? Yes or no?
Agree, sir. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
now go to the second one. What is this one? There's a huge list, I think. Yeah, given 10 items. The question asks, review the list of services below and the guidelines, selection and employment of consultant by the World Bank borrowers. What are the consulting services you can identify from here? Policy advice for reform of health sector. Is this a consulting service? Huh?
Yes.
Yes. Second one, interpretation of survey data.
No.
Carefully look at interpretation of survey data. Interpretation part is there, right? That means some quality is needed. No, interpret. It is a consulting service. Collection of data. And what is then you ask the question below and guideline, review the policy and first one, policy and reform. We can say you can use quality based selection or quality and cost based quality based selection, quality and cost based selection, or if it is small,
So, excuse me.
yeah,
The second one, how it deviate from the non-consultancy service?
interpretation.
Yeah.
Interpretation part is there. No? Interpretation is a consultant work. Survey data is something, but interpretation is a quality work. No, interpret the data. So that is a consulting work. So you can quality work is there. So you can select QCS, quality and consultant qualification selection method. And we say individual consultancy also possible, right? Lump sum contract is possible. All things you can note down, otherwise you will forget. Policy, first one, policy advice for reform. You can use quality and cost based selection. If very small one, quality based selection also. First one, policy advice, no. So is it time based or lump sum? First one.
Lump sum.
No. How can we? Yeah, time based. How can we define the output? Advice. How can I define? So it is a time based, right? Second one, interpretation of survey data. Yes, lump sum. Once you done the work, they can pay a lump sum. Third one, collection of data for evaluation of education program. What is this?
It seems not consultancy service.
It seems not consulting service. Yes. Okay. We can, just collection of data. We can, as a service. Procurement services. No, number 4 is procurement services. No. No. Here, this different one. Assistance in development of technical assistance program for relocation of victims of natural disaster. What is this? Assistance and development technical assistance program for relocation of victims of natural disaster. What is that is a consultancy, right? What type of method you can use for that? Huh? What is the QCBSO, QBSO, whatever out of different methods? What is the most appropriate method?
QCBS?
No, don't be no hurry. This is a natural disaster situation. How can you follow a lengthy process of QCBS when the disaster comes? It may be single source selection, right? Because you'll have to give some assistance to relocate the people, those who are affected by the disaster, earth slip or flood or something. You have no time to select consultants. Single source selection, type of contract may be time based, right? First one, environmental impact study, consultancy or something, service. What is this consultancy?
Yes.
Yes.
QBS.
Yeah, QCBS we can use. QCBS we can use. Quality and cost based both. Lump sum may be applicable. Okay. This one, environmental cleanup services. What is that?
Is it non-consultants?
Non-consultant services, correct. Right? Non-consultant services. What is that next one? Procurement services.
Yes, it is consultants.
Yeah, consultant service. We can use QCBS, under which the World Bank approved 50% of the cost and 50% of the quality. Normally they 80-20, no? That is the World Bank this thing. QCBS 50% for quality and cost. Okay. Aerial survey and mapping services. What is this?
So we didn't discuss contract type for procurement services.
No, sorry. Procurement service contract type is, I said, but contract type is procurement service percentage contract. Right? As we discussed earlier also, percentage contract. Right?
Right.
Aerial survey and mapping service.
Yes, consultancy service.
No, it is a non-consulting services. It is not an expert job. Right? Non-consulting services. But still, supervision of refurbishing of energy plant. Refurbishing of energy. Is it a consultancy?
Yes.
Yes. So we can use different method, QCBS, if it is large, right? If it is large, QCBS, you can use time-based contract, right? Or you can use consultant's qualification selection or least cost selection if it is small.
Can't we use the percentage-based contract?
No, sorry. Supervision of refurbishing energy, QCBS, if it is large, time-based, small, lump sum. That's all, right?
Can't we use percentage-based contracts?
No. Refurbishing of energy plant, no. So quality and cost both should be considered to select the consulting firm. Quality and cost based. Because quality is important, no, refurbish the plant. Right? So other method like least cost or fixed budget is not applicable because quality is important here. Refurbish the plant. I mean, just imagine the energy plant, right? So quality, if it is large, you can use time base. If it is small, you can use lump sum. Energy plant is very large. The time base is important because we cannot give specific outputs, large one. Right. Finally, demining. What is this?
Not the
Demining,
consultant.
not the consultant, sorry. Others say, okay. Next one. Review the list of services listed below and guideline. Training of port survey. Training of port survey. What is the method? Here. Training of port survey. QCBS. If we can use lump sum contract. If it is small, we can even use fixed budget selection also, least cost selection also, or CQS method if it is small, right? If it is large, QCBS, lump sum. Small, either FBS, LCS, or CQS. Okay. Dam inspection services. Dam inspection services.
QCBS,
Yes,
indefinite delivery contract.
exactly. QCBS is the method, or sometimes QBS also, if it is very difficult. If it is normal, quality and cost all considered, but if it is very complicated one, we can purely quality base, right? Because dam, just imagine a very important dam, very huge construction, right? Generally QCBS okay, or QBS, right? If it is difficult. The contract type should be indefinite delivery. Okay. Next one, sale of government-owned cement plant. What is the method? Sale of government plant, cement plant. What is the method applicable? What selection method? No answer. QCBS. So sale, we say what? Retainer plus and retainer and successfully free contract, right? Sale, no? Okay. Procurement services. What is the type of contract and method? Earlier also we discussed, no, procurement services.
QCBS.
Yeah, QCBS නේද අපි කිව්වේ කලින් කිව්ව නේද?
Percentage.
Yeah, percentage is the contract type, correct. Next one, collection of population data. Is it a consulting service?
No, sir.
No, non-consulting services. Pre-feasibility study. What is the method, selection method? What is the contract type?
QCBS and
Yes, QCBS and
Lump sum?
lump sum. Lump sum, yes. Because they have to submit the pre-feasibility report now. Legal services required for property law reform.
percentage contract can
No. Legal service required for law reform. Reform. Just not the law services. Reform is always quality and cost based or quality based, right? Reform means we don't know what type of reform to be made. Only the consultant or legal consultant. Quality based or quality and cost based type should be time based, because we cannot specify the output. No. Transfer of knowledge, transfer of know-how. QCBS, time based. Training, no. Okay. Auditing. What is the selection method? Auditors class select karna na?
LCS.
Yes, very good. LCS. If you use QCBS, 50% quality, 50% 50% cost, because all audit firms, we said, giving standard service. And contract type is lump sum. Finally, air quality testing. Air quality testing. Is it a consultancy?
no.
No. Right. Review the list of services below and guideline. Firefighting. Firefighting. What is this? Consultancy?
Non-consultancy.
Non-consult.
No.
Fire prevention.
It's also not a consultancy.
No, fire prevention is consultancy, because prevention is a quality job, right? So you can use QCBS with lump sum contract. Fire prevention is a consultant's work. Food preparation. Consultancy or non-consultancy?
Not non-consultancy.
Non-consult. Municipal services. Consultancy or non-consultancy?
Non-consultancy.
Non-consult. Graphic design.
Consultancy.
Consultancy. Method may be QCBS,
So QBS.
QBS, QBS or QCBS, least cost selection, or consultants qualification selection, right? Catering. Non-consultancy. Computer software development.
Consultancy QCBS.
QCBS or QBS.
Time-based.
Lump sum. No. Lump sum or time-based if it is complex, right? If it is complex, time-based, normally can, if the clear the output, computer software is lump sum. Okay. Finally, automotive repair. Non-consultancy. No. Right? Tax collection.
Non-consultancy.
Non-consultancy. So I have given couple of examples, right? I may give, I can't say I give, I may give couple of cases for you to identify the relevant selection method and appropriate contract type. Agree?
Okay.
Agree. So maybe we'll try. I have not decided yet, but okay. So it can be, because you should identify the situation where you can apply QCBS, QBS, and various other things. On the other hand, on the one hand, the other hand, what are the most appropriate contract type, right? So at least you name. Okay. This one, banking structure review. You have done all these things. Banking structure review. Yes. A borrower wants to review the banking structure in the country. The borrower is concerned about the scope and cost of such study. What should be the borrower take into account consideration? What method you can use?
QCBS,
QCBS.
contract type.
Yeah, contract type, you can say.
This also can be considered as.
Yes, bank structure review, no? So we can say time-based contract, no? Because specifically we can't give, right? This one, port location feasibility. But this feasibility is proposed for identifying the best location for a large port, like say Hambantota. The borrower is considering QCBS with 70-30% ratio for the technical financial proposal. What is your idea? Port location.
QBS method is QBS.
Okay.
Lump sum. Lump sum.
No, they have given QCBS.
Yes, QCBS.
Lump sum.
Lump sum.
Lump sum.
No. Point is whether we agree 70, that there is a case study asked. No, bank say 80-20. Right? 70 is very low, again. Very low quality. At least minimum 75 at the See, that's how they have discussed this. 70% is very low. Go to lease costs, right? No, you can go. Oh, lease costs, but if water supply, but keep minimum technical score 75 again. Okay, so that is, don't worry, right? Feasibility study, water supply feasibility. What is this one? Port location. Port location, yeah, 80-20 again, sorry. Port location, 70-30. What is the answer? Guidelines say maximum 24 cost and 84 quality minimum. World Bank ne anitheka maker, that is 70 point is very low කියලා කියනවා. At least minimum 75 at දෙන්න කියලා. Okay? Reimbursable. Make your one. Under QCBS, all including provision for reimbursable proposed by the bank, best rank firm were taken into account in the price escalation.
Evaluation.
Past price evaluation, sorry. Firm A and B scored very close to each other during negotiation with firm A. The borrower and firm A agreed on a higher provision of reimbursable, right? More equipment and more trips within the country, among other things, making the final contract price somewhat higher than the price originally proposed, right? What would be your reaction? What kind of reaction you can say? So we can negotiate reimbursables, right? Under QCBS, reimbursable is okay. Once the negotiation changes the price, see the impact if ranking changes of the other firm. So that is the answer given to this one. Okay, no problem. Now, I will give this task for you to solve. Example of QCBS two-step procedure.
So excuse me.
Yes.
With regarding previous one.
Okay.
Now we have given the QCBS methods.
Okay.
Then if we rank the consultant A, B, and C,
Okay. AB
then
කියලා තියෙනවා.
yeah,
AB.
okay. Then when the reimbursable go high with the selected consultant,
Yeah.
then the sometime the rank B will be cheaper than
Yes.
C.
Yes. That is the reason for negotiation. No, they negotiate with the client. Okay, we need more expenses for reimbursables. Then that if they agree, they can add. Then sometimes the ranking may change. It doesn't matter. Then maybe, as you said, B may be selected. That's why the consultant must be careful to increase the price, right? If the price increase, that will affect no quality and cost base score is given. Quality score and cost score and combined score may change. That is the answer for this case study. So, okay, that is possible to increase the reimbursable, but it may change the ranking. That's the answer. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Now this one, I don't want to see you all. You take 10 minutes to read and solve. What is the question? QCBS, two-step procedure. That means two envelope, two-step kill again, two envelope. Technical, they evaluate first, and they say 75 is the minimum score. Go or no go කියලා සමහරට දාන්නේ. Following weighted scores are given: 81A, B 75, C 88, D 86. The cost given is different. What firm would you select under the following selection method? QCBS. පළවෙනි එක QCBS දීලා තියෙනවානේ. ඊට පස්සේ QBS, LCS, FBS. If the budget is fixed for 600,000. නෑ මේක තව එකක් දාන්න sorry. මට QCBS එකක් දාන්න බෑ දැන් මේකනේ select කරන්න ඕනේ. අපි ඒක දාමු add කරමු. Which firm will select number 1 QCBS. ඒකනේ question එක දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Okay. You do that. I'll give 10 minutes because you must understand the theory I discussed with you regarding the quality and cost base formula. That in the introductory part, I gave the formula. Otherwise, I can recall you. And how we select other methods also. This is the typical small example. I give 10 minutes for you to read and do the same. Okay.
Yes. නෑ example එකක් කරන්න දුන්නා. exercise එකක් කරන්න දුන්නා. exercise එකක් කරන්න දුන්නා.
Okay. Shall we discuss this one? What is your answer?
Answer A.
Answer A, QCBS, yes.
C.
How did you select C?
Answer C.
80-20.
No,
Full
not
apply.
80-20, because technical scores, C has got 88. It is not given clearly. That means not 80-20, 90-10. Right? අපි ඒක දාමු ඕනනම්. Technical නෝග 90-10. Right? That, I mean, it is obvious, no? They have got 88, 81 out of 90. Okay? We'll calculate that. Okay. First one, technical evaluation, no-go, 75 points. Then which firm will be rejected first?
D.
D is rejected.
D.
D is rejected, number one. D is rejected. So now 90 under QCBS we have to calculate, right? What is the formula? You know that? For technical score is like this, equal A, what is the maximum? 88, no? 88 to 81. 81 තමයි අරන් තියෙන්නේ. Maximum is 88 into 0.9 or 90%, whatever. Into what? Say 0.9. I mean, formula is like this, right? Formula is T divided by T maximum. T max. Into this. Right. Into X. X is the technical score. X is the technical score. X equal technical score. Right. We'll apply that one. What is the value you get? 88. බලන්න කීයද දෙන්නේ කියලා? 88, 81 divided by 88 into 0.9. His technical mark is 82 point. අපි 83 කියලා.
83.
83 කියලා ගමුකෝ අපි ලේසියට. This is 83. What is this one? A, the A නේ. A කියලා ගමු. A. Sorry. $83 කියලා ගමු. 83. Then B. What is the technical marks? 75 නේ. 75 නේද? 75 divided by 88 into 0.9.
77.
මෙතන එන්න. දෙන්න බලමු. බලමු. 75 divided by 88 into 0.9 is 77, yes. 77. එතකොට C
90.
80 ආට 90 නේ ගෙලීම. ඒකත් අපි බලමු ෆෝමියුලා එකෙන් මෙහෙම 88 divided by 88 into 9. 0.9 in the back. Here 90 88 divided by 88 into 0.9. It's about 19, eh? Right. These are the three technical scores. How to get the financial score? Finance score formula is this. Score F financial equals F financial minimum divided by F financial into 1 minus X. Sorry. X. That means 10 නේ අපි ගත්තේ. එතකොට A's financial score is එයාගේ equals එයාගේ තියෙන්නේ F minimum තියෙන්නේ කීයද? F minimum is කීයද? 475,000 no?
1,000. Yeah.
475,000. Right. Divided by his price is also 475 නේ. 475 into 0.1. What is the score එතකොට?
10.
10. ඒ වගේම B ගේ කීයද එතකොට? B equals minimum 475,000 divided by 500,000 නේ? into 0.1.
9.5.
995. මෙතන 9.5 yes 9.5 yes එතකොට C equals මොකද කියන්නේ එයාගේ තියෙන්නේ 475,000 divided by 625 නේ
7.6.
into 1.1 ये देने 7.6 right. Now that the combined score combined score formula is T divided by T max into X into X plus F finance min divided by F into 1 minus into 1 minus X. ඒකනේ formula එක. Right. Then A combined score is equal technical අපිට ආවා කියද්ද?
Altogether both 92.8.
Yeah, මෙයාගේ 70 නෑ A ගේ ආවා 83 නේ. A ගේ 83 financial කීයක් ආවද? 10ද?
10.
10. එතකොට එයාගේ total marks එක 93.
3.
B equals B ගේ technical mark එක ආව කීයද? අපි දීලා තියෙනවනේ 75 නේ.
74.
ඈ
77.
77 sorry.
77.
77 plus කීයද finance mark එක 9.5 නේ.
9.5.
හරිද? එතකොට equal කීයද එතකොට?
83.5.
83.5. C technical marks කීයක් ආවද?
90. 90.
90. 90 plus finance marks
7.6.
7.6. එතකොට එයාගේ කීයද?
97.6.
97.6 ද? බලන්න එක හරිද කියලා. Okay. So which firm you will select?
C.
C.
Alpha. Even though his price is the highest, right? See, this is 90-10, no? So price factor is very minimal. So he has got technical marks 88. He will be selected. The C will be selected under QCBS. Okay. Now I have given another example. You try this one. You just read this one. Proposal have been called from prospective consultant to provide consultancy services on upgrading curricula of degree program of University of Afghanistan. 4 consultancy firms have responded, and these technical proposals were evaluated by a team of 4 evaluators. Because I said normally other than the chairperson, all other members will give marks, right? This committee has maybe 5 members, A, B, C, D, or somebody is as the chairperson. And can you remember this? Now, early example, we have given the total marks. Now they have given how each and every member has given marks for each kind. The experience maximum 5, how they have given 2 marks, right? Right, that different component of this one. Methodology 40 marks, they have given different component, maximum 40. So B has given different marks, C has given different marks. Key staff, maximum 55, different marks. Now what we have to do is, you will have to get the average. So 25 divided by 5 is 5. Here 5. Here also 5, because all people have given the same marks here. Here also 5. First one is 5. Okay. Second one, you add up this one and divide by 5. Out of 40, different components are there, no? Because we can't give straight away 40 marks, because different component methodology, they have given different component. What are the, what is the marks they have given? 30 plus 32 plus 28 plus
31
33,
average.
32. එතකොට කීයක් එනවද? 155 divided by 5.
31
30,
average. 1 average.
31 average. So similarly, you calculate this one also. Make key average. 29. 29 plus 31 plus 27 plus 32 plus
30.4.
Equal to 30.4, yes. 30.4. This one. 32 plus 33 plus 29 plus 36 plus 58. 29, 36 plus 28. Ne? Equal
30.6. 31.6.
31.6, yes. This one. 31 plus 32 plus 33 plus 31 plus 32.
31.8.
31.8. Similarly, the other category for key star, different component, A has given these marks. 43 plus 44 plus 47 plus 42 plus 46 divided by 5. 44 point something, no? 44.4 that. Other one. Give 44 plus 41 plus 46 plus 42 plus 40 divided by 5. 42.6. බලන්න හරිද කියලා?
42.4. I got.
මම දන්නේ නැහැ. හරිද බලන්න. හරිද ඒක අනිත් අයත් හරිද? හරි. ඔව් හරි නම් හරි කවන්න. Next one 42 plus 46 plus 5 plus 43 plus 43 6 නේද ඒක? This one
43.6.
හරිනේ. Okay. Next one 41 plus 44 plus 45 plus 45 plus 44 plus 42 divided by 5, 43.2.
Right.
So what is the total technical marks of here? How much? ඔක්කොම එකතු කරාම කීයද? අපි මෙතන දාමු කවන්නේ. Total marks, technical marks 5 කීයද එකතු කරා? 5 plus 31
80.4.
plus 44.4, 80. Oh yeah, 80.4. Similarly, here, here, 5 plus 30.4 plus 42.4 equal, here,
77.8.
70, 78.
7.8.
Fine. Here, 5,
80.2.
80.2. This one. Here, 80. Now, what is the question asked? Proposal score below the minimum qualifying is 75. Technical points 75 are rejected. Methodology formula 80-20. Right. These are the three prices. Okay, now go back to our schedule. all firms are qualified, no? Over 75 is okay. Technically okay, no?
Technically okay.
Technically okay. Now, you check. Now you check the out of this one technical marks. මෙතනම අපි හදමු. හරිද? මෙයාගේ what is the maximum technical? මෙයා කවුද maximum අරන් තියෙන්නේ? මෙයාද?
Me.
This one නේ. This one නේ. A එහෙනම් කොහමද ගන්නෙ? 80 maximum T8 maximum divide by 80.4 into what? 0.8 නේ. නේද? 0.8 80/20 නේ. Equals කීයද marks එන්නේ? 80.4 divided by 80.4 into 0.8. එයාට හම්බ වෙන ලකුණු කීයද?
80.
80ද? බලන්න 80. Okay, this one divided by 80.4 into 0.8 කීයද යාට?
77.
77.41.
අනිත් ගණන් හදන්න. කීයද මෙතන ඉන්නේ 70
7.4.
77. point 2 තියෙනවද? 0.4. මෙයාට කොච්චරද? 80
79.8.
හරි. ඒක වෙන ළමයි මෙතන. Divided by
79.8. Yes.
80.4 into into 0.8 equals 79 point කීයද? 8ද?
Yes.
79. Yeah. So this man 80 man, this man, this divided by 80.4
79.6.
0.8 is
9.6.
9.6. Okay. අපි දැන් මෙතන බලමු financial score එක. Who is the minimum? මේ minimum finance score කවුද දීලා තියෙන්නේ? මෙතන දීලා තියෙනනේ. මේ out of this minimum is 23 නේ.
D.
D is a 3 minimum. Okay. Now you calculate A's financial score 23 minimum including what is his price?
24 මදි.
එයාට තියෙන්නේ 20 sorry. එයාට තියෙන්නේ 24 නේ. Oh yes. Divide by 24.
into 0.2.
24 into 0.2 yes.
2.
කීයද විතර එන්නේ? into 0.2 equals කීයද? බලන්න.
0.2.
23 divided by 24 into 0.2 1.9 නේ.
1.996.
අපි අනිත් එක අතහැරියම කමන්න නැතන. ඔක විතරක් ගමු. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් round off කරනකොට අර දන්නවනේ rule එකක් තියෙනවනේ. right. ඒකත් අපි red වලින්ම ගමු. මෙයාගේ 23 divided by එයාගේ price එක කීයද? එයාගේ 25 නේ. 25
1.8 එයාගේ.
sorry 25 into 0.2 equals 18, no? Right. This man 23 divided by his price is 26. 26 into 0.2 4 into 0.2 equals කීයද? ඈ කීයද?
1.7.
1.7ද?
Yeah.
බලමු. බෙදීම 26 වැඩි කිරීම දශම. Yes. 17 18 ගන්න පුළුවන් මේ 7.6 වැඩි පැත්තට තියෙන්නේ නේද? 7. හරි. මෙයාට 23 divided by එයාගේ price එක කීයද?
2.
එයාගේ තියෙන්නේ 23 එයාට ඒ price එකම හම්බ වෙනවා හරි. 23 divided by 23 into 0.2 equals එතන කීයද? 20 නේ. 20 හම්බ වෙනවා. right. දැන් මේක what is the total marks ඊළඟින් අපි හදමු. දැන් වෙන තැනින් හදාගන්නකො. මෙතනම හදලා ලේසි නිසා. total marks කීයද මෙයාගේ? මෙතන 89. right? මෙතන කීයද? මෙතන කීයද? 77.4 plus 18 නේ. 95.4 නේ. මෙතන 79.8 plus 17. ඒක 96.8. මෙයා 99.6. okay. okay. what is based on highest score කවුද අරන් තියෙන්නේ?
From D.
yeah, 99.6. so under QCBS D will be selected, but prepare the combined technical higher QCBS under least cost QBS who will select and quality based selection area කවුද select මේ A ද B ද C ද D ද?
A.
A because highest quality. okay, right. and least cost selection who will select?
D.
D ගේ ඔව් D නේ අඩුම තිබුණේ. yes D තමයි select වෙන්නේ. yes correct. ඊට පස්සේ මොකක්ද දාන්නේ? if the budget is 25 million what company should be selected under fixed budget?
It is also D.
yeah, B will be rejected, C will be rejected because it is above the budget නේ. දැන්
Yes.
මොකද ඕකේ කියන්නේ? මේකේ කියන්නේ above the within the budget highest technical score කවුද? technical දැන් A B දැන් කවුද select මෙයාව reject කරේ C නේ. එතකොට A තමයි select වෙන්නේ. එයා තමයි highest technical. okay, right. now you have some idea how to calculate this thing. and you have some case studies. If I give a calculation also, now you can calculate, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. Then I think it is finished. Evaluation of financial proposal, you can just read out. This is the combined evaluation. Score ST, score technical into T. T can 80 or 90 or whatever. Financial score into 1 minus X. Financial. So you can keep this formula in your mind and do the thing. Everything we done. Okay, then shall we stop then?
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, sir.